Hi, I'm Dave Farah. Welcome to MMA Fix here on the Fight Network. On this episode, we'll hang out with UFC welterweight Mike "Quick" Swick inside the World Series of Poker right here in Las Vegas. Swick is an aspiring poker professional, so we'll see how well he does in the Omaha event, as well as catch up with him on his trip to Germany, where he scored another win via TKO against Ben Saunders at UFC 99. Also this episode, I'll meet up with Strikeforce welterweight Jake Shields, who is partying it up before his expected bout at Strikeforce Carano vs. Cyborg on August 15th. Finally, over the weekend, the Playboy Club inside the Palms held their annual bunny hunt at their famous Ditch Fridays pool party, and we're going to find out what assets these ladies have to become a Playboy Bunny finalist. But first, the latest MMA news. Donald Cerrone versus Benson Henderson is set for the WEC lightweight interim title. With WEC lightweight champion Jamie Varner's hand injury taking longer to heal than expected, the promotion is planning to crown an interim champion for the 155-pound division. Two top contenders, Donald the Cowboy Cerrone and Benson Henderson, will clash for the interim belt at WEC 43 on September 2nd in Youngstown, Ohio, which will mark the WEC's first appearance in the state and the first major MMA show to hit the city of Youngstown. Japanese middleweight Kazuho Misaki has been sentenced to 1 year in prison. Last Friday, the Tokyo District Court sentenced Misaki to 1 year in prison, with the good news being that the sentence has been suspended for 3 years. Officers pulled Misaki over on March 19th for driving while using his cell phone, which is illegal in Tokyo. However, after pulling over, Misaki fled the scene and injured an officer's wrist when it struck the fighter's driver's side mirror. Misaki was arrested 2 months later in May and was indicted. Misaki posted bail on June the 4th. The Pride veteran is still expected to fight Kazuhiro Nakamura in Sengoku #1 contenders bout on August 2nd. In UFC news, Hermes Franca versus Tyson Griffin is set for UFC 103. The lightweight bout will take place on September the 19th. The live pay-per-view show will take place in Dallas, Texas. Franca is recovering from a torn ACL after his unanimous decision win over Marcus Aurelio, while Griffin, who is 5-1 in his last 6 outings, is coming off a unanimous decision win over Rafael dos Anjos. Huerta versus Maynard is targeted for UFC's Ultimate Fight Night 19. This blockbuster lightweight matchup is close to being finalized for Fight Night 19 on September 16th in Oklahoma City. This bout is highly anticipated as it will pit the unbeaten wrestling machine Gray Maynard against fan favorite Roger Huerta. In Affliction news, the promotion has cut ties with Andrei Arlovski. Following a 22-second TKO loss to Brett Rogers at a Strikeforce event on June 6, former UFC heavyweight champion Andrei Arlovski has been released from Affliction Entertainment. After back-to-back losses, first to Fedor Emelianenko and most recently to Rogers, Arlovski's fighting career is now up in the air. The Belarusian was one of Affliction's highest earners with a $1.5 million payday for his fight against Emelianenko at Affliction Day of Reckoning in January, and $750,000 for his win over Ben Rothwell at Affliction Band about a year ago. According to his trainer, Freddie Roach, Arlovski will continue to work in the gym as a professional boxing debut could be in his sights. And finally, Fight Force International Ultimate Chaos took place Saturday night in Biloxi, Mississippi, and Bobby Lashley sapped the win. 3 minutes and 17 seconds into the first round, Bob Sapp tapped to the punishing ground and pound unleashed by Lashley. The co-main event also didn't last very long, as Gilbert Avell destroyed UFC vet Pedro Hizzo only 2 minutes and 10 seconds into round 1. And Extreme Couture prodigy and Canada's own Chris Hordeski grabbed his first submission victory win with the chokehold on his opponent, William Stryapi, 4 minutes into the first round. Up next, I catch up with Mike Swick. For RawVegas.tv and the MMA Fix, my name's Dave Farah alongside Mike "Quick" Swick at the World Series of Poker. What are you doing here, man?
Playing poker, man.
You're a big-time poker player.
I do. I love playing poker.
You're full-on sponsored now.
Yeah. I've been with Full Tilt for a few years now, so.
So you're pretty good?
Nah, I wouldn't say that. I try. I'm an aspiring poker pro. I want to try to build my credentials.
Right now, what tournament are you playing?
Parliament Omaha 8.
What's the average chip stack?
Probably 15.
About 10, 15,000. Where's your stack at?
4,000.
Oh, never mind. He sucks.
See, yeah. I was doing good. I just took a bad hit. I'm lucky to be in the tournament right now.
Are you doing
good
okay?
earlier.
I mean, overall, is your game going pretty well here at the World Series of Poker?
Yeah, I think I've made some of the right decisions. I just had a big draw in hand and I didn't hit it, so took a lot of my chips.
Why do you like poker so much?
It's always just been fun, so I've just been playing my whole life, and when poker picked up and we saw it on TV on ESPN, you know, it got me more interested. I wanted to play in those events one day, but obviously fighting takes all my time, and that's the #1, so I only have so much dedicated time to poker.
Is Full Tilt ponying up enough cash for you to play in the main event?
I bought myself in.
Why? Why didn't you have a little conversation with
Because when I
Full Tilt?
win, I get all the money.
Let's talk about how your fights have been going, because we don't know how the World Series is going to turn out for you yet. But UFC 99, tell us first and foremost how the trip was to Germany, how you dealt with the time change, and what you thought of a European audience.
It was good. You know, I mean, I traveled a lot, so I mean, I know what to do as far as jet lag. I got in about a week ahead of time, just recovered and rested and had a good fight. Stayed a week afterwards, had a little fun. Ate some German cuisine, which is not the healthiest, but I could do it then. And then went to Amsterdam and then just got back Saturday.
Now you said you had a little fun and you kind of had this smirk on your face. What do you mean you had a little fun?
You know, eating unhealthy food. And I may have had a beverage or two. I don't drink a lot.
You're a machine, Mike.
I don't drink a lot. I don't.
So you went overseas and you fought in front of a European audience.
Yeah.
This is the first time that UFC is putting on a major card in Germany. What was it like? How was the reception?
It was incredible. You know, we were worried going in because, you know, Germany had been protesting the fight a little bit. And the cover of their papers and, you know, from a political standpoint, they were saying that, you know, it's brutal, it's a blood sport, the whole thing like it was back here in the 90s. And so we were kind of hesitant going in. Like, I was kind of worried, you know, I was going to be protesting at the hotel and stuff like that. But, man, when we got there, it was incredible. I mean, the fans were no different than anywhere else. They had our hotel staked out. I mean, it was incredible. So it was a great reception, a great audience, very electric, and I had a great time.
Did that surprise you that Germany was so anti-UFC and they were very closed-minded about mixed martial arts?
Why would you say that?
Well, I mean,
historically speaking?
Yeah, well, there's historically speaking, sure, but then can't you drink when you're 12 in Europe?
Actually, we were at the Hard Rock, which is pretty much where I ate every time, and these two kids stroll up and they sit beside us, and man, they must have been like 15 years old, and they order a cheeseburger and they get mixed drinks, and we're just dying. We couldn't even believe it. Like, first of all, it's hard to believe just two 15-year-olds would go into a restaurant by themselves with no parents and just eat. Like, they're just talking shop. Like, they may have been talking about algebra or something, I don't know. And they're sitting there drinking mixed drinks, and I was just blown away. I wanted to take a photo with them.
So you've got these kids walking into a restaurant. Some of them are 10, some of them are 15, and they're drinking. But, you know, Europe has different rules than the U.S., but what about you? When did you crack your first beer?
I honestly, the first time I drank was in Russia at 19.
What did you have?
But I think it was legal then. I think it was 18 and up in Russia, I hope, but I think. Vodka, lots of vodka.
Really? You started with vodka?
Yeah. Well, I was in Russia.
A loser.
Like,
I started with wine coolers.
Oh, yeah?
Boone's Farm, yeah.
No, but honestly, the funny thing is now I don't drink a lot, but when I do drink, I enjoy Smirnoff Ice, which is like a very not tough beverage. And my wife will drink beer with the guys.
So you have a Smirnoff Ice? Have you tried Zima with a Jolly Rancher in it?
Yeah, but I'm... Yeah,
you don't like that so much. Yeah.
So when we go places and we order, I'll like hold the beer and she'll order the Smirnoff until we get to the table, and then I'll hide it. But it's tasty. I like it. You know, I never grew a taste for beer ever.
Really?
I never drank a lot, so it's like my whole life I was sacrificing things, you know, for fighting. So I was never going out partying a lot. I was never drinking. I never got that whole, you know, high school, college thing where I was drinking beer all the time and got that taste for it. So I don't really like beer. So I like, you know, like I said, vodka mixed drinks, or if I want to tone it down a little, Smirnoff Ice.
Okay, so the reception, it seemed like maybe it wasn't going to be favorable, but it was. Yeah. Did you find that there was any distinct differences, or was it just another UFC card to you?
Nah, it was the same. I mean, the audience, you can't really understand what they're saying anyway when they're cheering, so, you know, as you got closer to the audience, you could realize that you couldn't understand what they were saying. But for the most part, I mean, it was the same as anywhere else, you know. It was the first country I think we went to that didn't speak English, so. And then, you know, there's a lot of military there, so that was really cool. And I just left a month before and visited Ramstein, Spengler-Derm, and did a military tour, so it was really cool seeing all those guys at the fight.
And your fight, of course, one of the most exciting, as always, like a Mike Swick fight normally is. You took out Ben Saunders. He posed some interesting threats, I thought. You know, he's a long, lanky guy. He's a lot taller than you are. He's got a longer reach. But you were able to dispatch him pretty quickly. Was there anything that you were specifically worried about going into that fight?
You know, we just wanted to have a smart game plan. I have the experience on my side, so we were just going to try to break him down, put pressure on him, let him know he's in a big fight, and try to make him crack. And we landed the first exchange, and then he pulled guard, and it really caught me off guard because he just like hung up, he just held on, I guess, and he was just holding me. So I didn't really know what to do at that point. I was trying to break free, and I was trying to hit him. I was hitting him in the head, and then it was kind of getting on the side, and he was telling the ref that I was hitting him in the back of the head. So then I tried to pull his head away, and as I was doing that, he was saying I was eye gouging him. So I thought he was going to get me yellow carded, so I was getting like really frustrated. And so that's when I got verbal with him, which apparently the whole world heard.
Well, since the rest of the world knows, tell us.
I thought you watched it. You didn't see
I did watch it.
You watched it at a crowded
apparently
bar?
I missed it, yeah.
I just basically said, "Are you going to hold me all night?" And he said,
"You said, are you going to hold me all night?" Yeah, go ahead.
So I said, "Are you going to fucking hold me all night?" And then he said, "Let's stand up, bitch."
What?
Yeah.
Ben Saunders and you? Do you guys have bad blood now?
No, we did at the time because he was holding me down, and I was like getting frustrated. And so I was like, "You going to hold me all night or what?" And then he was like, he called me a bitch.
Let's talk about why you decided to take the Ben Saunders fight, because when I first heard about that matchup, I thought it would be an exciting fight, but I thought it was a little bit of a weird matchup for you, because in my opinion, you're a little bit more high profile than Ben Saunders is. So anytime that you have somebody who's more high profile than somebody else, the person that is in a more advantageous position is taking a bigger risk, because if they lose, then what?
Yeah, I mean, it was, for sure I was taking a risk because, I mean, I'm higher ranked than him, and I had basically, as far as ranking, nothing to gain and everything to lose, but you know, I'm not one to turn down fights, and he was available, and he's a tough opponent. You know, I knew it would be an exciting fight, and it was a fight I figured could end with a knockout. So, you know, I took the fight. I'm not going to tell the UFC no, and I was hoping that, you know, after a fight like that, two fights in a row where I fought tough guys that weren't higher ranked than me, that maybe I could graduate on and you know, be the one taking the all or nothing and fight someone like Hughes or GSP or Thiago. So that's who I called out after the fight.
And what? Any response?
Yeah, I want the Hughes fight, and we're trying to work it out, but it doesn't seem like it's happening, so it might be Catman.
It seems like you finally have a clear path to getting that title shot, and it doesn't include having to fight one of your best friends in the world. Yeah,
that's the good thing. I've managed to somehow wiggle away that if I can win this next fight, you know, whoever it is, Hughes or Catman, I think I'll be in line, and I didn't have to fight Fitch or Koss.
One of the bigger stories coming out of UFC 99 was that Cro Cop came into the organization, fought one fight, and then, in many people's eyes, dicked over the UFC. Do you feel the same way? I
don't know the details. You know, we fought on the same card in Germany, and everything was going real smooth. And then I heard in the post-fight conference, the press conference, that he had fallen out and announced that he was fighting for Dream. So I don't know the details, but it sounded like it was a shady move. You know, it sounded like him and Dana had an agreement, and then he turned his back on it. I don't know.
I know that you're a company man, but there's a lot of fighters who feel like the UFC capitalizes on their strengths and on their selling ability and makes a lot of money that the fighters don't make. Do you get angry when you hear that somebody has screwed over the UFC? If Cro Cop did that or not, let's leave that aside. But do you get angry as a UFC fighter, or you're just like, yeah, that's other people's business? Yeah, I just don't pay attention to it. I mean, I just more stay concerned with just what I have going with the UFC, and that's kind of like that whole deal that went up with Fitch and Koss and myself with the UFC for the video game thing. It's like, I just stay out of it, you know? I mean, like you said, I'm a company guy. I'm always there for the UFC. They've always been there for me, so, you know, I just worry about that. So that and fighting covers enough of my time. You've got it going on, though. You're in a video game, you're on a winning streak, you're at the perfect weight right now. Is there anything else that would make Mike Swick's life better? The one thing I always said I wanted to be really cool when I got into fighting is an action figure, and they have it, so that's sick. So you're done? I just saw it. I'm done. I'm going to retire. If you go win the World Series of Poker, you're going to move to an island somewhere. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to win a World Series of Poker event and a UFC fight in the same month. I don't think that's ever been done. But it's not looking good, man. I'm sitting on 4,000 chips right now. No, it's not looking. My fight looked a lot better than this. Well, good luck at the World Series of Poker. Thanks for taking some time out and talking to us. And the main event starting in just a few days on July 3rd. So we appreciate you taking some time out and chatting with us. Good to see you. I'll shake your hand very lightly. I know it's hurt. Every time I see this guy, he's got a broken hand. Yeah, it's true. Good to talk to you, man. Thanks. Dave Fair alongside Mike Swick. Thanks for watching the MMA Fix.
Unbelievable! 10 seconds left on the round. The roundhouse kick by the batter. Are you kidding me? If you wear prescription glasses, you know protecting your eyes from the sun can be a real problem. Clip-ons let light shine right in from the sides, and prescription sunglasses cost a fortune. Now there's a better solution. Introducing HD Vision Wraparounds. They're lightweight sunglasses that wrap around your prescription lenses, and they feature our unique HD Vision technology that gives you clarity and enhanced color like you've never experienced before. Just like high-definition revolutionized TV, HD lenses enhance your vision and produce unsurpassed clarity and optical definition. And when you see the color and clarity, you will truly be amazed. It's the colors, everything's just so vivid.
It makes things seem almost brighter.
You know what? These are great, and they are so clear.
These glasses look like really designed sunglasses, and they can start at $200 and go up to $400 or $500.
The color and clarity are amazing.
HD Vision wraparounds have a modern European styling that looks great, and yet they're durable. You could spend more money, but you can't get better sunglasses.
I love them. Where can I buy them?
On this special TV offer, you can get your HD Vision wraparounds for the incredible price of just $29.95. We'll also include our patented visor clip for your car. At $10 value, yours free. But wait, call right now and we'll also include our night vision wraparounds. Perfect for driving at night. They cut the glare of oncoming headlights but enhance your ability to see everything else. And they're yours free. Just pay shipping and handling. Every pair comes with our 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not completely blown away, return them for a full refund. Enhance your vision with high-definition color and clarity. Don't wait. Call now.
My name is Master Mir Khan Maidi. They call me Persian Warrior. I'm the heavyweight champion of the world and founder of the Shindu Kumite.
For RawVegas.tv and the MMA Fix, my name is Dave Fair in the hotel room of Jake Shields here in Las Vegas. How you doing, man?
Yeah, good. How you doing?
Good. We both have coffees, even though it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon right now.
Yeah.
Kind of a rough night last night.
It's morning Vegas time. Yeah, a long night. Hadn't been to Vegas in a while, so.
I saw you at the fights, the Ultimate Fighter 9 finale. What'd you guys do after that?
We went everywhere. Privé, that new club, XS. I don't know how new it is, but it was new to me.
Yeah.
I've been here in a while. Dre's. We hit some spots. It was a good night.
Dre's, that's like really late night.
Yeah, late
For those
night.
of you who don't know, that's the sort of place that you go at like 5 a.m. when everything else is
when
closing.
you walk out and it's sunny and you're like, man, what'd I do?
What time did you get in last night?
I don't know, 7, 8, somewhere around there.
Nice. So you're between fights. You just came off of a huge win against Robbie Lawler at Strikeforce, which congratulations, by the way.
You.
That's huge for not only your career, but also, Strikeforce is really starting to rise.
Yeah,
everyone knows
it's
that.
crazy how big. I didn't realize how big they're getting until the last couple weeks. It's going around. I'm getting recognized like everywhere. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah, just like over the last couple months, Strikeforce is really. I can just tell the difference of how well they're getting known.
Would you say that there's more recognition now, even with this fight in Strikeforce, even though it maybe wasn't as widely publicized as the CBS fights with Elite XC? That you're still getting more recognition?
For me, I'm getting recognized a lot more. I mean,
really?
I'm sure because Kimbo got all the push last time.
Yeah.
So now they're pushing like real fighters. So for me, I'm getting recognized way more than when I was on CBS, which is a little weird because a lot more viewers on CBS. But I think they didn't really push my fight. They were kind of just put at the bottom, not really pushed. So I think Strikeforce definitely seems to be blowing up.
And you said that they're pushing real fighters now. Kimbo, not a real fighter?
Well, he's not a real fighter. I mean, I like Kimbo. I'm not trying to knock him. He's a nice guy, but he's not a real professional. He's like he's like an up and comer, more amateur, like someone that should have been on the Ultimate Fighter.
Are you glad that Elite XC crumbled and that you got out of that contract?
Definitely. I'm a lot more. Even when my contract got sold, it got renegotiated for a lot better fee, and I think Strikeforce is a lot better company. Nothing against, no hard feelings for Elite XC. I just think Scott Coker knows what he's doing. I feel a lot more comfortable there. I'm being promoted a lot better, and I think just the shows. I think most of the fans like it a lot better. I think overall, the fighters and the fans are happier with Strikeforce than Elite XC.
With Elite XC going away, your contract was essentially you were a free agent at that point. Why didn't you make a big push for the UFC, or was the UFC?
No, I was in talks with UFC. I'm in very good terms with them. I talked to Joe, Joe Silva, Dana White as well, and I'm very good terms with them. Somewhere, quite possibly I'll end up. But I actually wasn't a free agent. It got really complicated because I was still contracted under Elite XC, and they actually sold my contract to Strikeforce. So
you didn't have a choice.
No, I would have had to get stuck in a lawsuit. Strikeforce is good to me. They renegotiated my contract, so I'm not in the same contract I was. But I would have to basically to get out of it. I had to get stuck in a lawsuit, and obviously that's nothing a fighter wants to deal with.
Of course not. But you fought Robbie Lawler, and it was at a catchweight, so you moved up a little bit. It was an exciting fight. You performed incredibly well, but there's a lot of people going, okay, who does Jake Shields fight now? Because the welterweight division in the UFC is stacked with potential opponents.
Yeah.
But in Strikeforce, they still have to build a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a problem I'm facing. That's why I moved up to 85s for my last fight, and quite possibly my next one, a good chance, August 15th, I have an offer that I'm most likely going to take is probably up 85s again. So
you have an offer right now on the table to fight on the August 15th card?
Yeah, I believe so. I got to work out the details, but most likely, I'll be fighting August 15th. I'll probably know within a couple of days. So
So that means you have to stop drinking here in Vegas.
Yeah, that means today is Sunday. It's my last 8 weeks out. It'll be my last day. I only had like 1 week of partying, but that's all right.
So how many fights is your contract with Strikeforce right now?
I think we have 2 left, I believe.
Okay.
So my manager, deals a lot, obviously, but it gets a little confusing in a few parts, but I'm pretty sure I have 2 fights.
And are you happy fighting for Strikeforce, or do you want to fight a George St. Pierre?
I'm very happy fighting for Strikeforce. I think they're a great show. They're treating me great, and they're giving me good opponents. But I also, I would love to fight someone like GSP. He's a phenomenal fighter. He's considered the best at my weight, and possibly the best pound for pound. So that is definitely someone I'm looking at fighting one day. So right now I'm just taking it one fight at a time and seeing what happens.
So honestly, do you want to move over to the UFC eventually, or is that just down the road?
I'm just like I said, I'm just Strikeforce treat me so good, and they're growing so fast. I don't want to be like, hey, I'm definitely going to the UFC. But UFC is a show I love, but Strikeforce is good. So right now I just got to do the rest of my contract and look at the situation from there and figure out what's best for my career.
There's a lot of good welterweights out there. It's a very common weight for guys to fight at because it's a pretty natural weight for a lot of fighters. Who do you think outside of Thiago Alves is the best pound-for-pound welterweight?
Best welterweights out there?
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm one of them, definitely. But I think John Fitch thinks a great fighter. Josh Koscheck. These are 2 guys I've had a chance to train with a little bit. Well, Nick Diaz, obviously. Depending on if he can be a lightweight, a welterweight, middleweight, depending where you look at him, I think Nick Diaz, without a doubt, is one of the best welterweights, and those are the guys that come to mind.
Now, you and Diaz, you guys are close.
Yeah, we're good friends.
And you guys train together. And
that's everyone's always asking about fighting Diaz. That's kind of the only guy that I'd really not fight. We just I've been to Japan with him like 8 times. We came up fighting together, and it would just be it'd be too weird to fight Diaz. Plus, everyone that's seen Nick fights knows he takes his fights pretty serious. I don't want him trying to kill me.
Well, understandably so, but there's going to come a point for a lot of these top welterweights, top lightweights, like I think of Tyson Griffin and Gray Maynard, for example, who train together and are best of friends over at Extreme Couture here in Las Vegas. I think about John Fish and Koscheck and some of these guys that are buddies as well that say we don't ever want to fight each other, but if it comes down to it and there's a title on the line and you guys are the best in your organization, you're going to have to fight. What happens then?
It'd have to be a lot of money to make it worthwhile to fight Nick, and still I'm not sure if it'd be worth it. And also, there's me and Nick both can switch around weights. I can fight 170, I can fight 85s, he can fight 170, he can fight 85s, and he can go all the way down to 55s if he wants, apparently. I think it's crazy, but he's cut all the way down, so it's like there's no reason why one of us can't just change weights.
Nick is very vocal about liking to smoke weed from time to time. What are your thoughts first on marijuana and smoking it as a professional athlete?
First on marijuana, personally, I don't smoke, but I also don't have anything against it. I think the guys that want to smoke should be able to smoke. It's not a performance enhancer. It's pretty much, there's never been studies showing that it improves your performance. Even the commission, they switch their opinions. They say you can get hurt from smoking it, and then they say, like when Nick got a decision overturned, first they said it's because he could have got hurt. Then they said it's because he took the pain as the only reason he won the fight. So it's just, it makes no sense. I think if guys want to smoke, they should be able to smoke. I think they should stop drug testing for marijuana and just let the guys do what they want to do.
What about the whole role model thing? Because Nick, even both the Diaz brothers, I'll go out and say that they're not exactly the role model type. They're pretty outspoken and flamboyant when it comes to sort of thumbing their nose at authorities. But what do you think about the whole role model thing?
I think, we're fighters. Are we really role models? Yeah, to some extent, kids are watching us, so I try to hold myself as a role model a little bit, but it's also, you're fighters, and they're not asking to be role models. They want to go out there and punch people in the face and elbow them in the face. I think it's not really their job to be role models. If parents let their kids watch fighting, it's up to them. And if the guys, flipping people off, smoking weed, it's up for the parents, I guess, to decide what their kids watch.
Being on the inside with Strikeforce, how much do you know about the whole CBS contract? Because there's been a lot of speculation.
I'm kind of an outside, too. I keep hearing talk of it's in the works. But I from what I understand, it's kind of I think CBS does have the contract, and they do want to do shows, but they're kind of just waiting. I don't think Strikeforce has an exact date yet. They're just waiting for the go-ahead from CBS. I think CBS was a little unhappy with some of the things with Elite XC. I think they kind of got the runaround. I think they were lied to about Kimbo. I think the CBS execs were told by, the Elite guys that Kimbo is the real deal, and so they were fed a bunch of BS, so they kind of got a bad taste of MMA, but it got good ratings. So I think they want to sit back for a minute, watch Strikeforce, and I think they are watching Strikeforce, seeing how phenomenal it is, and I think so I have a feeling, soon they're going to be like, all right, we want it on CBS.
These are exciting times for you. They're exciting times for any MMA fan across the country. So August, you're possibly going to be fighting again.
Yeah,
August the 15th, which is the big fight, which is exciting because it's headlined by Gina Carano, the first female fight. It's for the title. That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, it's quite interesting. It's the first girl headlining card, I guess.
What do you think about females in MMA?
You know, I'm not against it. I'm not like a huge fan of girls fighting, but I mean, I'll watch it occasionally. I'm obviously a lot more into, you know, watching the men fighting, but I think it's great when we can go out there and fight as well.
Give me your pick, Carano or Cyborg.
That's a tough fight to pick. It's I think Gina's a little more technical. I think her stand-up's a little better. I think, you know, obviously Cyborg's a little more physical and a little stronger opponent. So for me, that's like a 50-50.
So that doesn't help me at all.
No, that doesn't help at all. Give me my honest opinion. Sometimes I'll make picks. That's one of those fights that's too close to pick.
All right. Well, possibly we'll be seeing you in August if the fight gets signed.
Yeah.
Jake Shields, thanks for talking to us.
Yeah, no problem.
And best of luck, man.
All right, thank you.
We here at MMA Fix do not condone hunting for sport unless you're hunting for bunnies. Our host Sarah Bauer takes us to the Playboy Bunny hunt at the Palms Pool here in Las Vegas.
What's up, guys? I'm Sarah Bauer here with RawVegas.tv. We're here at Ditch Friday at the Palms, checking out the Playboy Bunny hunt. Today they're going to be picking the top 4 finalists, bringing them back Sunday night to find the next Playboy Bunny. Number on there. What's that for?
Number 217 is for the Palms. It's become the representative as one of the little bunnies for here, and it's awesome, and all the girls are so pretty and so nice.
We will get the great chance to work in the Playboy Tower. It's right there.
Are you so excited to be part of this competition?
Yes, I'm so excited. I'm so psyched. I think I truly deserve it. I think I have what it takes, so I hope I win.
Working at the Playboy Club would be an amazing experience. It fulfill my dreams. It can open so many doors to opportunities, so I would absolutely love it.
Dominique, what do you consider your best physical asset?
I would like to say my legs. They make me look long and tall, and they're nice.
I have to say my butt. Her asset. Okay, there we go. What would you consider your best asset?
Yeah, I have a great attitude, a good head on my shoulders, and I think I have the looks. I mean, I just got this done, so.
So you've got a lot invested in this, to say the least, right? Now what? Where do we go from here?
Well, they're going to have to choose just only one, right? So hopefully one of us win.
What will you do now to prepare?
Basically, just try to look my best and just be myself. Very social, outgoing, mingle with the girls, the guys, have a good time.
That's awesome. And Michelle, tell me, what does being a Playboy Bunny mean to you?
Actually, I went to the Playboy Bunny Club for my 21st birthday. I had so much fun, and ever since then, I'm like, I gotta do that.
Yeah. Well, you guys are one step closer to your dream. Congratulations. We'll see who wins on Sunday. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of MMA Fix. I'm Dave Farah from RawVegas.tv and the Fight Network. Have a good night, and we'll see you here next week.
Into the ring, the Fight Network. The following program contains scenes of violence. Viewer discretion is advised.